Anyway, so yeah. So why don't I go on ahead to my health? This week has been probably, as far as my health is concerned, has really been a huge turning point for me. And I'm gonna try again. I don't want to go on for. I know sometimes I can talk and go on for 20 minutes, but back in the year 2000 when I had my hysterectomy, I had told the doctors, and these doctors in North Carolina will let you die. I kid you not, they're in cahoots with the life insurance companies, with the health insurance companies, and they're giving bonuses to not, to do as little as possible to you, so that they can get their money. And I kid you not, and this is like something that's known. It's not just something out of the top of my head. My daughter almost wound up in the hospital with pneumonia because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. So when I had the hysterectomy, I said, take out my ovaries too, because in doing the research, I found out that when you take out when you do hysterectomy, make sure you get the cervix and the ovaries, because you will wind up going right back. You will wind up getting cervical cancer or, ovarian cancer or some other problems. And so the doctor refused. It was a male doctor. And don't even get me started with that. The female doctor who was doing surgery with him said, if you want to, I'll do it. I said, well, why don't we do this? If you see the slightest thing wrong with my ovaries, pull them out. I don't want them. Because I don't want to be back here in 6 months. When they did the hysterectomy, she said that she didn't see anything wrong with my ovaries, so she left them alone. 8 months later, I was in the hospital again. I had cysts in my ovaries. So I lost my insurance, so nothing I could do about it. When I got into a car accident and I had that temporary Medicaid, it's like a Medicaid with medical need, and you can have it for 2 years. I was feeling problems, and I remember telling the doctor, I said, look, something's not right. I had a grandfather who died of colon cancer. And I was like, I don't know, something doesn't feel right down there. And because when I went to the bathroom, it really hurt, to have it checked out. And she's like, again, they're in cahoots. So the doctor says to me, why are you looking for problems? You look for problems, you're going to find, do you really want a colonoscopy? I said, not really. I still wasn't 40 yet, and they say you don't really have to get them until you're about 50, unless someone in your family died, then you should get it maybe by about 40. And at the time, I think it was like 37. I was like, no, not really. But I should have went with it. And I remember going to the gynecologist, and I said, can you check my ovaries, because I'm in pain and I don't know what it is. I'm telling you how stupid it is down there. He said he couldn't find my ovaries. And the problem is cysts will come and go. They had to send me to some place where they did the sonogram, and, they kept saying they didn't find anything. So maybe, the cysts, like I said, sometimes they come and go. Sometimes they grow and get small again. So, that was that. And then, my 2 years were up and I didn't go back. Now, one of the things that I was really was prided myself in was that I had reached 350 pounds after the accident, because I was, stagnant. Anything you do causes you pain. So I ate a lot of veggie patties. I'm not big on cheeseburgers, so I ate a lot of veggie patties, and I had a lot of yogurt. It helped with my sweet tooth. And I'm not sure if that is what kept my weight down, but that's just what I liked, and that's what I ate. Like, sometimes I would have it like 3 times a day, like breakfast, lunch, and maybe a snack before, an evening snack. And I kind of got tired of it, and I started eating other things, and I tried to stay away from sweets. And I guess I just let myself go, and I started just eating whatever I wanted again. I got tired of the veggie patty yogurt. And I would say last holiday maybe, or last January, or earlier this year, January 2012, I started feeling like I couldn't breathe right. I wasn't feeling well. I was tired all the time. Any little thing, I couldn't breathe right. And I had bent down to, I leaned over like this to get something off the floor. I was on a chair, and I felt this horrible pain. And I have no insurance. I mean, what they want for insurance, you could pay a mortgage with. I'm saying it's ridiculous, especially if you're of childbearing years, whatever they consider that, that to end. But it felt as if something pushed up inside of me and pushed all my organs into my diaphragm. Now, I forgot to say that 2 years ago, I was experiencing these weird little spasms in my belly, like when you're pregnant and a baby kicks. I don't have a uterus, so I wasn't pregnant. And I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, do I have worms? And I was, looking stuff up. And then finally, because I don't know if I went to the Mayo Clinic, but I went online and, put in, my symptoms. And it said that it was cysts. Obviously, the cyst must have grown, and it's that pushing my organs. I weighed myself. I went up to 375. I was like, this isn't good. So obviously, my body can function at 350. Anything over 350, my body just can't function. It's too much for me. And I was like, this is great. This is just great. But then what happened was the move. This was, like I said earlier, like maybe in the January area. And so by April, we had to start packing because we were moving in May. And I was so anxious to leave and anxious to get packed within the time frame that we had that I couldn't eat. So all I did was pack. If I ate any little thing, it would upset my stomach. So I was barely eating. And so for those 3 weeks, I was packing, barely eating. And mostly after I ate is when I feel the pain the most. It's like, it's felt as if something was pulling my stomach. If it's too full, like it was like, it just, I don't know, it felt like a lead was inside of me, pulling to the floor. And that was when it started, it was always worse. So anyway, but I wasn't eating. And so through 3 weeks packing, and then when we moved, that whole fiasco, with budget, I could not eat. And my stomach, I guess, shrunk. And that was another thing, was that I realized that I had a feeling my stomach was stretching last year because I was just hungry a lot, and even if I felt full, I couldn't stop eating. I don't know what was wrong with me, but so I kind of was scared because the last time that happened to me was right after the accident, and that's when I gained all the weight. But anyway, so I come here and we moved to the 3rd floor, and it was like, how many times did we move? Because we had to put all the stuff into the garage and put, just what we needed upstairs to the 3rd floor, going up and down the 3rd floor, taking care of business, driving here, driving there, for my kids, the county clinics, disability, and going back and forth doing things I needed to do, going up and down those stairs. And so I lost the weight. I was so glad. I was so happy. I went back down to a comfortable weight. And then, we had to move everything up here again. So after the 3 weeks were up, we had to take everything out of that garage and come here. And it happened again. I was doing a lot of brain work, and that is a lot for me. And I was getting hungry again because I was doing so much paperwork while I moved into this apartment. So I'm just doing a lot of paperwork, and usually, like after like 2 or 3 hours, my brain is fried. But it made me hungry, and I could feel my stomach stretching again. And all I kept saying is, after I finish homeschooling, I'm gonna get back into a program like I did before when I lost, all that weight in the past. I was, I think, 35 at the time, and so that was like a good 8. Well, now I'm 47, so I don't know. I know it's going to be harder for me now, but if I could just get healthy, that's all I really want, is to get my heart rate going, to lose some weight just so that my body can function, not because I want to be beautiful. I mean, I wish I could be, but at my age, I just want to be healthy. So, I could feel it happening again, and I'm just insatiably hungry, and I have a horrible sweet tooth, and I started buying little bags of candy just to eat after dinner, small bags, like little $1 bags of candy, and about a month ago, it was after I got sick. It was like my body could not recover from that one. It was like that blow just killed me. I feel like I haven't recovered in the sense that I still feel like I'm so tired I can't do anything, just like when I was sick. My body felt so tired. And the pain, the pain in my stomach where after I eat I'm in pain, I can't breathe. I forgot to mention that after a few weeks, when I told you that I felt the organs push up, after a few weeks one night, I felt like this muscle release in my stomach. And I was able to breathe again. That was when I was doing the packing and everything. I feel like whatever is inside of me is pulling at me. Pulling at my stomach. After I eat, it is so painful. Basically, when I go out, I have to go into the little putt-putts. Before, I only did that after surgery or when I was sick. Now it's all the time. I cannot push a grocery cart anymore. Even if I did, I couldn't fill it up too much. But now it's constantly in a little putt-putt while my daughter or my son come with me and fill up the cart for me as I'm driving in the little putt-putts. And I can't do groceries, or even like go to Target. Or Walmart. I have to be in a putt-putt if I'm going shopping and they have a putt. If they don't, it's extremely painful. I lose my breath after 5 or 6 steps. And this week was the turning point for me because I could not fit in my car. I went to go take my dog to the vet, and I've just been, like I said, I've been so tired. I haven't washed my brushes for 3 weeks. I've just been really letting things go, which is not good. It's just, especially when it comes to the bills, you want to have your bills paid on time. And thank God I've been able to do that, but I haven't even really done a budget again. I'm just so tired. So it's I don't know. It's just been, I don't really go out that much. I'm in the house. Now that the paperwork's done, I just want to finish this homeschooling. That is like my priority, so that I can start, working out again like I did before. I either walked a lot, or I went to the pool, or I went they have like a fitness center here. The pool doesn't do much for me. I remember when I went swimming, I gained 5 pounds instead of losing, but at this point, any activity is going to help me, and I'm just going to die coming up those stairs, but that's all I wanted to do, and I was like, if I could just hold out till then. But I get into the car, I can't fit in the car. The wheel is as high as it'll go, the chair is as back as it'll go, and I do have like a 2003, so I don't think there's too many positions you can put everything in. I could not fit. My stomach is so big that the wheel it's like it's gonna rip my stomach in half. I can't adjust the seat anymore back. And it was bad. I had a jumper. I had to open up the jumper to give it more room, and I had to put the seat back a little, not just the back part. I had to, instead of being straight up, it was back like this. But my belly is so big that I can't even close my legs anymore, and I couldn't reach the brake barely in that position. But I made it. I made it to the vet, and I went to Walgreens because I found out about something new that came out, Black Radiance. I hope I remember to tell you after this, but they didn't have it. We got a couple of snacks. I got a juice, actually the Mango Madness Arizona. I only drank half of that, and went to take the dog to the vet. When I came out of the vet, just from drinking that half a can of juice, my stomach swelled up, and I couldn't fit. Even though we did exactly what we did before, I was like, what's going on here? And I had to push the back further, making it even harder for my legs to reach the gas pedal. And the brakes was almost impossible. What I had to do was, every time I hit, this is not in the street, we weren't on the highway or nothing, because it's close to my house. I had to put the car in park every time there was a red light. So, since I was already not feeling well, I stopped buying sugar. Stopped buying the candies. I don't really get into chips too much, but I stopped buying the candy. And it's been rough because I have a sweet tooth. So basically, since Friday, I have been doing my darndest that as soon as my stomach feels the tiniest bit full, to stop. It hurts anyway, but I guess if I like the taste of something, you just don't want to stop eating it. But I've been afraid. And it's hard because if I don't eat a full meal, I'm hungry again quickly. And I can go all day with eating small meals, but then it hits me at night. And that's the worst time to eat. So I've been just trying really hard to just eat a lot less for now, just until I can finish homeschooling. And I've been going out. Friday my hubby took me to Ulta because I was afraid I couldn't drive, and I got something from there. Again, I hope I don't forget to tell you after this is done. But so I went out a little bit that day, and I went out yesterday. I went to the boardwalk because we're not that far we're about 50 minutes away from the beach, and maybe about 35-40 minutes away from the boardwalk in the bay. So we went and I couldn't walk. We had to rent a wheelchair for me. There's just no way. My stomach just pulls at me. My belly just pulls at me. And I've told you before, I believe that it's just an abnormal growth. It's not normal, because after the car accident, when the seatbelt locked in, my belly turned black, and then the skin hardened. I never got my color back. It stayed like a deep, dark, purpley red color. And the stretch marks, instead of looking like they pop out like veins, it's just not normal what's going on. So I don't know. I don't have insurance. My own thinking, doing research online, is that the cyst is probably very large. If it is, that is what I have. And it's just pushing all my organs, and that's why I can't breathe. And add the weight to that. I doubt that's what the weight is. I doubt it's 25 pounds, but, because I know that I've been hungry a lot because I've been using my brain waves a lot. I don't know if you know that, but when you use your brain, you need to eat. So, I I know I can't multitask. I know after doing about 2 or 3 hours of brain work or doing homeschooling, I can't do anything else because you're using up your brain, and I can't do anything. My brain is shot for the rest of the day. So I'm just really exhausted. But since I've been sick, I feel like my body still feels run down, even though I'm not sick anymore, and it's just really hard. I can't concentrate enough to wash my brushes. I'm just so tired all the time. So that's been my situation, and I need to stay alive for my family. My family needs me. I have to really try and get through this. I haven't taken pictures, so I don't want to cry. But you know, that's been my health. Plus I have the kidneys. You know, I wonder if the pain was from a kidney stone, but I really don't think that's it, because of the spasms that I was having in my belly. You know, it was like doing this, and you know, like I said, the symptoms I put in was a cyst growing. So all I can do is pray, because you know, they want like something like $600 or between $600 and $800 a month for medical insurance, and you know, they want to give my husband as little overtime as possible, because the money that we make now is just, it's like we were in the same boat as we were before, except that it's enough to pay the rent. And the problem is that I have so much more debt now because the car keeps breaking down and because of the move. So it's been really rough financially. My credit cards are almost maxed out. People say, well, just take your credit card. What you don't understand is that when you go to a doctor, I've been back and forth to the doctor a lot, you know, since the accident, and I've had a couple of surgeries. It's not like $5. They want a good $300 just to walk through the door. And then to do tests could run up to, especially, you know, could run you $1,000 or more. I need a CAT scan. That's about $5,000 or $3,000, something like that. I'm sure it's more now. So my credit card, what happens when, at that rate, my credit card will max out within about 2 months? What happens then? I have no more money. Because I'm paying off the credit card, I have no money to see the doctor. So, you know, it's just, I don't have money to go to the doctor. Right now, I'm trying to pay my credit cards. You know, the interest alone kills. I haven't had to pay interest for a long time. Now I've got interest accumulating like crazy, and I'm like, this is horrible. My credit card is almost maxed out right now. The car broke down and whatnot, and, you know, bedbug thing took money too. So you know, all I can do is pray, God help me, you know. Maybe I can just do a short little walk. So I'm thinking about, since I've been going out almost every day, I'm thinking about the days that I don't go out, maybe just take a short little walk, because I can barely walk, I kid you not. You know, even if it's just walking from here to the pool, even if I don't go in, because I'm sure my bathing suit doesn't fit me anymore. Because that's going to kill me, just that alone. That's how bad it is. I cannot take 5 steps without gasping for air. And like I said, I think that this thing is pushing into my diaphragm. So so yeah, it's been rough, and I can only hope that, you know, that maybe just taking short little walks every day, even if it's just whatever, 10 feet outside, get the fresh air, and, you know, just until I finish homeschooling, and then I can start going to the fitness center and see how, you know, get back into the groove of something over there, and, you know, so that I could, you know, be okay and get myself back in a healthy, you know, in a healthy place. And that's been my situation. I could tell in my face in my videos, I've always had a double chin, but to me, I felt like it was bigger, you know, and the belly rubbing against my legs has me with a horrible rash that won't go away. So yeah, anyway, I just hope and pray that I can make this work for me and get myself healthy again. So